Welcome back. Let's dive into the Felgo SDK, shall we? We insisted in the bottom part of this cycle, the compile deploy phase, and how the tooling improved that. But how does the Felgo SDK improve the code part? So literally, how many lines of code are you going to write when using the Felgo SDK compared to standard Qt? Let's see a real-world example. This is the QtWS or Qt World Summit application. This was for the 2019 conference, and as you can see, the official Qt application was about 23k lines of code, composed by around 7k lines of QML and 15k of C++ code. So as we can see, rewriting the application with Felgo saved more than 90% of lines of code. So basically, the 7k lines of QML became less than 2k, and 15k lines of C++ code magically disappeared. The real estate application is another good example. This is a reference application that was implemented in a lot of different languages, and it's used to test the verbosity of such languages or frameworks. As we can see, the Felgo implementation is not only shorter than the Qt implementation, but it's also a lot shorter compared to all the other native or cross-platform frameworks that were tested. But how is that possible? It's really no black magic. Just take a look at this. This is a reference cheat sheet of Felgo components and Qt components. The one highlighted in orange are all the components that Felgo adds on top of the black ones, which are standard Qt components. But what do they cover? This is a breakdown of some of the features that the Felgo SDK includes. So for starters, we have native mobile UI and UX, both on Android and iOS, as you can see in the picture on the left. We have native dialogues, which act and behave like native dialogues because very often those are native dialogues. We have native sheet support on iOS. We have file handling without the need to dive deep into C++ code. We have sharing support, which integrates with the sharing capabilities of the underlying platform. So a share on Android feels like a native Android share. We have styling and theming on top of those mobile widgets. We have display note support or cutouts. We have material design cards. We have material design guidelines in general on Android. You can have a YouTube player, a pull to refresh handler, activity indicators, and many more components which are not listed in here. Sometimes different platforms have completely different designs. Sometimes it might be enough to just style a few properties differently to achieve a native look and feel. Here we're going to take a look at navigation, which basically is how pages are going to be arranged inside your application. As you can see on the left side here, we do have an iOS device with a bottom navigation and 2 tabs on top. The same navigation on Android can be achieved using a side menu and the top tabs. On Android, you can also have the bottom navigation in the latest guidelines. So is there a way to simply state how your pages should be arranged and the SDK can take the native platform style and create a consistent user experience? The answer is yes. And on the left, you can see the QML code needed to achieve that. There's this abstract navigation component, which takes the navigation item, which is basically a destination. And the destination is going to be rendered differently on iOS and on Android. And of course, you can use the one you prefer or follow the system guidelines. Moreover, navigation is a bit different on desktop. And we need to take into account that different devices have different DPIs and different screen sizes. So the navigation is responsive. As you can see here, when we're going to change the DPI density and the screen, the user interface will change accordingly in order to provide the best user experience. The desktop component also includes a custom sidebar, which you can see right here on the left side, which is not visible in the Android or iOS implementations. Another feature which is completely handled by the Felgo SDK is support for notch displays, or as they call it on Android, display cutouts. Sometimes, on recent devices, the whole display area has a dent in it, and you need to manage it differently compared to the rest of the screen, because this area can hide some content of your user interface. It becomes very easy using the Felgo SDK. You have a simple property which is called useSafeArea. When you set this property to true, that QML item is forced to be completely visible, so with no overlapping gesture area or display cutouts. If you still want to draw beneath this area inside of it, you can still take full responsibility of your code, managing the fact that your UI might not be visible at all times, using the useSafeArea equals to false. Writing the application logic and the UI, it's only a part of developing a full solution for your customers. Sometimes you need to monetize your application in order to make it commercially viable. And Felgo provides you with plugins to integrate ads or in-app purchases. You can even create some stores with a virtual currency that the user can use to purchase products or services within their application. You often need to measure what the users are doing in order to avoid some pitfalls in the user flow. And very often you need to engage them with push notification to bring them back to your solution. You can even integrate the game network, which basically includes a full social-like experience when users can have scoreboards and compare the results with their friends. You sometimes need to have a storage, either local or in the cloud, and you can integrate Firebase or the Felgo storage cloud solution that you can use to save some data and sync it with other devices. You can even have a backend as a service using Felgo Cloud or Firebase, so the user can actually exchange this data in order to create more immersive user experiences. As we can see here, we have a wide set of plugins included in Felgo SDK. Most of these are based on native SDKs for Android and iOS, but you can use them directly from QML code without the need to dive into native platform code or even C++. Let's just take a brief example here. This is an AdMob ad, and look how it is integrated only using QML components. The source code on the right is complete, so it can be run, and it's just missing the ad unit ID, which you can get from the AdMob website. As you can see, this is a normal QML component which you can use with anchors or all the standard positioning that you can have inside QML applications. Felgo also comes with an advanced augmented reality and machine learning plugins. And in this example, we are using Wikitude to render 3D objects on top of a camera stream. This in the backend is using TensorFlow and TensorFlow Lite in order to create a believable experience. Let's now move to showcase some of the products that you are actually able to create using Felgo. These are all open source applications. You will find them bundled into the Felgo Dev app, and you can use it to build your own application on top of those. Let's start with this. This is Stima, our very own Jira tracker. At Felgo, we use it every day to track time spent on each task. As you can see, it has a very easy and intuitive UI, and the user interface is responsive by using Felgo components, so it adapts very well to phones, tablets, and desktops. It works both in mobile and desktop clients, and it even has a full text search to look for issues or tasks. We also have a music player which vaguely resembles Spotify, which can show you the kind of custom UIs that you're able to create using Felgo SDKs. So in this example, we went a bit away from the platform styling to adopt a custom layout and a custom user experience. That's why the iOS and Android versions of this application look very similar. As you can see, you can create pretty complex and advanced user interfaces with Felgo. We also have a workout app. As you can see on the left, we have a social network-like feed, which gets populated with your achievements, your workout achievements. As you can see, this application integrates with map data and GPS recordings, which are kept in the background as you train yourself. If you're wondering, on the left, that's not fake data, that's a CTO, that's it's a real bike ride. Anyway, and on the right, you can see we have a custom profile page, which includes some custom charts. Getting started with Felgo is very easy. Just go to our website, felgo.com/download, get the online installer, and follow the on-screen steps. In the end, you will have your own separate version of Qt Creator, which includes the Felgo plugins and Qt versions. So they won't interact with your current Qt installation, and you can keep them installed alongside. If you prefer instead to add Felgo on top of your current Qt installation, just grab it from the marketplace at the link below and follow the steps there. So let's hear it from the customer, and let's try to summarize a bit what we discussed in this presentation. This is Oliver Kuss, who's a senior Qt developer and Felgo customer, and he basically stated that using Felgo saved him about 50% of development time compared to plain Qt. This is again no black magic, and generally happens because Felgo solves for you a lot of problems which you will find while developing the application, being either platform consistent or simply just using plugins which are already there in QML for you. There are even more comments. As you can see, there's this recurring topic of mobile platforms, so supporting all the different nuances of each platform and having the right tools which are going to increase your productivity. At the end of the day, all the savings that Felgo provides will pile up, and we estimate them to account around 20 to 80 hours per developer per month. This is due to the fact that most of the components are already implemented for you, most of the issues are already solved for you, and out of the box you will have a great user experience and user interface, which if you want, you can customize. You're going to have better Qt applications, smaller Qt applications with a lot less code compared to standard Qt, and faster development time due to the many different tools that Felgo provides. If you wish to do so, we also offer Felgo professional services. So Qt training and workshop if you want to deepen your knowledge of Qt, C++, QML, or even Felgo components. And also Qt development service if you want your application developed for you. We can also add support for you or even actually code it for you. Thank you very much for listening, and it's now time for the Q&A.